Hi, girls. Welcome back to the Pink Podcast. And for today's episode, I have a very special guest. I have Zoey from the new Netflix show, Sneaky Links Dating After Dark. Welcome.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. This is like when you hit me up to come on, I was like, yes. Like, there's so much to talk about. I love the show. I loved you on the show.
Thank you.
And I didn't tell you this earlier when we were yapping downstairs, but you and Travis were my favorite couple. You guys seemed like the least problematic, the most fun, and like your whole character was like a vibe. Not me talking to you like you were like scripted. Your character loved.
That is so sweet. Thank you.
No,
thank you.
It. I'm so glad you're here. Before we get into the juicy stuff, like what's the BTS that's going on in the show, your whole journey with you and Travis, and what it's looking like now, I first want you to tell the viewers who may not have watched the show yet, like what is the experience?
So it's a social experiment. It's a dating experiment. That's how Netflix kind of pitched it to us. And it's basically where you come in thinking that you're going to just have just like a regular dating experience, because when they cast us, they didn't give us any insight. Like we didn't know what to expect. We didn't even know like the real name of it. It was just pitched to us like, there's a dating show opportunity. Are you interested? Yes or no? Check yes or no. And so when we got there, it was just like, okay, you're here. And first of all, it was in a motel. We also didn't know it was going to be in a motel. Yeah. So they picked us up and dropped us off. And one by one, people start coming out. And we're just like, hi, like, do you know what's going on? And they're like, no. And I'm like, do you know what's going on? You know? And out of nowhere, like, people come out that people start to recognize. They're like, oh, okay, like, that guy, I know him. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, somebody knows somebody in here. It's inevitable, whatever. Yeah. Then somebody else comes out. They're like, oh, I know her. And I'm like, I'm like, wait, why do y'all know each other? And then people are basically saying like, they're not each other's exes, but they're like people that they've dealt with. Yeah. So then one by one, I'm starting to put together like, this is going to be some kind of dating situation where you're dating someone from your past. Yeah. But again, not an ex. So then Kyle comes out and I'm like, oh my God, like, of all people, I'm like, they literally, like, how do they find you? Because of all people I've dated, he's probably like number 10 that like, I'm like, they probably went through a list of like 8 people, 9 people, and they were like, can we just get one person from Zoey's past? If you ever like met her in a school hallway, like please come on down. Right. So like Kyle comes out and we're just like homies. So I'm like, okay, like what is this, like Friendship Island or something? And then the host Chloe comes out and she's like, welcome to Sneaky Links. And I was like, Sneaky Links? I'm like literally cheesing like this because I'm like, I'm like, hate the name. It's also like me and Kyle weren't true sneaky links. So for me, the whole experiment was very like, it's just probably different than maybe it would have been if it was someone like I actually was like romantically involved with. Yeah. Which I'm sure like I would have been a totally different person. You probably would have been like, this girl is just a hot mess. She's crying over this guy every other day. Like, so it was kind of good for me that it was Kyle, because it's like, okay, I have someone who I can look out for and he can look out for me. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just picturing that like, they probably reached out to all these guys that I've dealt with in my past, and they were all just like, I'm not going on a TV show, you know?
Right. Yeah, because that's actually something else that I wanted to ask you about. Obviously, they have all these contestants on. You guys all are from each other's past one way or another. And the question that I wanted to know that I didn't ask you downstairs because I wanted to find out here, because I've been wondering. I've literally been doing the math. I've been like, how would they get somebody's like kind of ex like on the show? How did they do it? Like, did you guys ever find out how they managed to do that?
So we had to connect the dots. Basically, everybody's situation is kind of different. Like for me, at least, when they first reached out to me, they were like, are you dating? Are you single? And I'm like, I'm single. Like I just got out of a relationship. And they're like, okay, well, is there anybody from your past that you've dealt with in a romantic situation? I'm like, I just got out of a relationship. So it's been years since I've like talked to a guy, like, you know, dated, hooked up with, whatever. Like it's been years since I've done that. So they were just like, okay, well, give us guys from your past who are your type, or like I said, like any kind of romantic fling. So literally like they went and like found Kyle through my Instagram. And I know this because Kyle said they reached out to him on Instagram, but they emailed me. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure they like I just listed off a bunch of guys, like anybody that I could remember, because it's been so long since I've actually like dated anyone else at that point, and reached out to him on Instagram and basically just pitched it to him like, oh, like this is a dating show. Are you interested? Are you single? Like blah, blah, blah. But they never mentioned me. They basically and I kind of know this too from other people's accounts, they try to see if they'll mention you to like kind of click the two together. So I figure it's kind of hard to have this scenario with all these people who are like sneaky links, because it's like you basically have to, like, say I reach out to you on Instagram and I'm like, can you give me some guys from your past or guys who are your type? And you name like Trevor, Chad, and Corey. And then I go reach out to Trevor, Chad, and Corey, and none of them say you, then that's not useful to the casting kind of process that I'm trying to create. But if I get lucky and Chad is like, yeah, I used to date this one girl, Wendy, and she's like, you know, a cool girl that I used to hook up with, and you've already told me that this was a guy who was your type, then I could cast you both. God willing, you both actually want to do a dating show. So
that is such a slim chance. Like,
so
to get two people that mention each other, like what you're saying. Also, that person has to say that they're even interested in the show, because they reached out to Kyle. Kyle has to be like, sure, I'm down. Yeah. And then now they have to hope and pray that like you two mentioned each other. I guess maybe that's why there was like, what, 5 couples in total, right?
6. 5 couples. Let me think. There was six originals.
Okay, six
originals.
Couples,
well, 6 people. Yeah, 6 couples second, because it was 6 originals.
Well, you guys weren't couples, not me.
Right.
Yeah, pairs. 6 sneaky links.
6 sneaky link pairs. But yeah, 6 of us originals, and then 6 people that were connected to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just picture like the guys from my past all being like, a lot of guys that I dated from the past, I could definitely see them not being interested in like a reality show. Yeah. Like a lot of them are kind of like serious, like suit wearing guys. They have finance jobs, they have tech jobs. I'm like, they're not gonna leave their like Microsoft jobs to come on Netflix.
For like an unknown, because that's so interesting. It's not like you signed up knowing exactly what show. It's kind of like a shot in the dark, like, okay, hopefully it's fun and whatever. But it's so interesting when they pitch you a show and you have no idea what it is. It's kind of different. Like you hear about people getting, you know, contacted to be on Love Island or Love is Blind or something, and they at least know what the show's about. They've seen it or heard of it, but you know, it's a little different to like what you're saying. They reached out to Kyle and to other people that you may have knew, and then they're like, okay, we're doing this surprise show. We can't tell you what it's about, but
we can tell you absolutely
nothing, but you might date someone. Just come on, like
come on down.
It's almost interesting they even managed to get 6 couples at all.
I mean, it took them like almost 2 or 3 years to cast all of us.
Holy moly. Yeah. When did they reach out to you, or when did you apply? How was that process?
So I got reached out to, I'm pretty sure, because I went out for Love Island back in 2021. So I was being cast for Love Island in 2021. That would have been season 3 USA. Yeah. And I applied for that. And it was like this long casting process. Because the thing about reality TV shows is like the casting process is a long process. It's not like a job interview. It takes 1 or 2 months. It takes, I want to say like the Love Island one was like 6 months and I still didn't get it. So when this came around, this was October 2023. And it was just, I had just gotten out of a relationship and I kind of was like, okay, I'm open to dating and I'm open to like coming on this reality TV show, but I just didn't take it seriously. I just was like, I don't know anything, so this is kind of like goofy. Like, I'm like, what if this is for Tubi?
Oh my god,
we didn't even know what network.
Oh, yeah, because when you hear Netflix, like I feel like anybody will get excited.
They didn't even say Netflix. We literally got there and then they told us what network.
I wonder if they had already like pre-sold it or not, because you know sometimes they'll shoot something and then they sell it after. Yeah, this is like nerd talk, but like you just never know. Maybe they like shot it and then they like pitched it. Yeah. But imagine it would have got sold to like Tubi.
Oh God, I think they
no shade Tubi.
No shade to Tubi.
We will take you as a sponsor. Shout out, big shout out to Tubi. Big shout out. But obviously Netflix has like a serious reputation. Yeah. So anybody would hope.
What I heard is that they had to pitch the show name, and from the show name they build out the concept. Okay. And so they already had kind of like cemented that Netflix was going to be the streaming platform. But so fun fact, ITV is who produced the show. ITV produces Love Island. So again, that's how I think I got cast through this process. But they just, I think, weren't liable to tell us that we were coming on Netflix until we got there. I don't know, maybe that's just like a confidentiality like thing that Netflix has. But yeah, so we're just like going in the dark, like, oh, like hope this isn't for Tubi or hope this isn't for like some streaming service I don't even watch, you know. Right. So it was exciting to hear that it was for Netflix. So I was like,
yeah, it is a pretty big deal. It's like, okay, thank God, crazy. You know, that's like who you could kind of hope for.
Right. And it's also like imagine all the thousands of people that try out for Netflix shows and they don't get cast. And so I kind of was just like, okay, I'm going to come in with an open mind and maybe this turns out to be a really cool thing. And then at first I thought it was Too Hot to Handle. Oh. Because the concept of Too Hot to Handle is similar, where you don't know the show you're going on until you get there. And I was like, I absolutely will opt out of this because I didn't want to be on a show with like very much like sexual undertones. Like I'm 30 now. Like, and not that age is like a huge deal, but it's just like for me, I just didn't want to come on a show and be like in a bikini all day, trying not to like hook up. I was like, I'm not. You
were in a bikini half the day.
Half the day.
Which is very different than all day.
I know. I'm like, not all day.
No, but there is definitely a different undertone to like Too Hot to Handle versus like what you guys did, or even like a show like Love is Blind. It's kind of like more of like a serious, like, okay, there's people really trying to be in a relationship. Yeah. Versus other shows where you kind of, the undertone is more like we're here for clout /
hookup
and fun, which is, you know, fine because people do end up actually dating outside of it. But I feel like a lot of those shows, the, you know, main reason why people go is more like to be on a show more than like, I really want to find love.
I also feel like that's why they cast people who are younger for those shows. You know what I mean? And even when I was going out for Love Island, I was like 25 at the time. So I was, of course, like, I'll do whatever. I'll do that heart rate challenge. Yeah. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I am mortified at the idea of like twerking into my face. Like, shout out to the girls that can get on their hands and knees and, you know, work it. But honey, I'm like, I don't even think my knees bend the same anymore. I'm like, I haven't gotten that low in years.
No, I've been seeing you do your Pilates. I'm sure you can make it.
I'm sure you can make it. I'm like, I love the little episodes where they're like, okay, let's do a little yoga sesh. But yeah, when it comes to like drop it like it's hot on TV. Plus, I don't know for sure about Love Island, and I know we're going to get into kind of the production behind the scenes later. Yeah. But on our show, like, we couldn't listen to music, like, at all. Like, you can't have music play at all. So any dance scenes that we have, there's no music playing.
That is so awkward.
There's never, like, it's just a huge thing with, like, licensing and, like, you have to pay for the sounds. And I think it's something upwards of, like, $2,000 every time you play a snippet. So because of that, you can never really play music. So I don't know for sure for Love Island if they are dancing to no music or not. Yeah. But we definitely, like, we never got to... Any music that was ever played was like on dark days where we weren't filming.
Oh my God. You would think they would at least look up like copyright or like make your own song up. Like hire somebody and make a little band. Like that's so
somebody in the background on a mic.
That's so like, I can't imagine doing that.
A song that's like, I don't know, say Rihanna Rude Boy. If you're singing it, they'll tell you to stop. Because they can't use it.
Did that happen to you? Did they like, or you watched it happen?
Well, you know what's funny? Whenever we wouldn't want to be like, we'll be talking about something, and if you didn't want them to use it, you just start singing a song. You'd be like, "Starships are meant to." Because
that's so smart. You're like, Void. Now you can't use this. Right? You're
sorry. Like, I just revealed my deepest, darkest secrets. Like,
you pull out a Nike hat. You're like, so let me tell you about yesterday.
I know you pull out so you guys, you can't wear brands as I'm wearing my Ed Hardy. Right. So yeah, that
would have been funny. Like, since you can't wear brands, you just pull out a hat every time you want to talk about.
Okay, Gucci glasses on.
Let me tell you about what this boy did to me, guys.
Really quick facts about that. What would be another way we would like escape production catching what we're saying is to get in the pool. Because you can't have your mic on in the pool. So we'd all get in the pool and they'd be like, get out of the pool. Because in Love Island, you don't see them swim really. Right,
they're never for the same
pool.
Reason.
We would be cannonball in the pool all day because it was a way for us to talk without getting
That's probably
caught.
why they ended up grounding you guys and keeping you in your room. Because you guys were acting like mermaids.
We were playing mermaids and being like, well, can't use that.
How long would it take from you guys jumping in the pool and then them being like, get out, you're ruining it?
Seconds.
Because
there's always a producer with you.
Yeah.
And one of the producers, I won't give up his name, but we were like his kids. He would always be, he was like the lifeguard. Like he would have like, I don't even think he had a whistle, but he would just be like, get out of the pool, like get away from each other, like stop doing this, stop doing that. Yeah, he was like the main one, like like little lifeguard, like hovering the pool. Yeah,
that's so awkward. Are you seeing like while you're shooting? Are you seeing a bunch of cameras around you, or are they kind of hidden a little bit?
They're both. So there's hidden cameras throughout the entire like enclosure, and then there's cameramen. So there's both.
So you're seeing people record you as you're talking. I mean, obviously you know that they're recording you, but like you're literally watching the cameras pointed at you while you're talking.
Yeah. You forget though. You'll be surprised how easily you forget the cameras are there, which is why I feel like some people would say things that you're like twitching. You're like, you know, you're being recorded, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you just get comfortable. What's funny about the hidden cameras is I thought they'd be way more like discreet. They're like giant hair dryers.
Oh.
Everywhere. So you're looking up and you're like, is that an upside down hair dryer?
Yeah.
No, that's just a camera that follows you.
Oh my God, that's so awkward. Like, did that impact a lot of how you personally developed in the show early on when you weren't used to the cameras? Like, you know, you're like so self-aware, like my posture, this and that.
I see on TikTok all the time, girls are like, if I was on Love Island, I'd have like the pillow in front of me. I'm like, girl, I did that. I was always aware of like, well, not always, because you do forget the cameras are there. You get really comfortable. But like, I was always like trying to be aware of my good angles. I was always like holding a pillow on my stomach after I ate. Like, y'all not gonna catch me being a walrus on here. I will say like, especially in your room. So your room, of course, there's like cameras in your room. You have no bathroom door. Yeah. So like you would want to be comfortable because like it's your space where, unlike other shows, we have our own room. Like we're literally by ourselves in our own room, and you do try to like let yourself go and get a little comfortable. But then you have to like remember like, oh my God, I can't like spiral out my like you know at the end of the night when you want to go home and like crash out in your room like behind closed doors, you can't even do that. Yeah. I would like cry in the shower away from everybody.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
I mean, they can't put the camera in the shower, so I'm just going to save my tears for the shower. Yeah.
Dang.
You're like washing your hair and crying. You're like,
oh my God. A question that I was really wondering while watching the show, because I'm like, okay, they're in a motel. They're recording this whole motel. Yeah. You obviously don't see other people. So it's like, my question is this hotel or motel, is it a made up like production where it's kind of like, you know, like a movie set where they just made up this motel and you guys are in it? Or is it a real motel and then like that section is completely kind of rented out for you guys?
The whole motel was rented. It was real. Oh. You can actually stay there like now. It's Hotel Adeline in Scottsdale, Arizona. Like, I'm pretty sure they're probably like marketing the hell out of this. I mean, I would. I'd be like, yep, come stay at the Sneaky Link Motel.
Please.
Yeah, it's like totally like an actual motel. Oh. Rooms are bookable. And yeah, they just rented out the whole space for like 5 or 6 weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really, I was really wondering, I'm like, you don't ever see like random people in the background. I'm like, how does that work?
People checking in while we're like filming.
And they're like, are you checking out? Because you know, the show, they're like, time to check out.
And like, you're in line behind 5 other people who are checking out.
Like, oh my God, this is taking forever.
Everybody hand over your hotel keys. Yeah.
Part of the show, which was obviously the whole playing on the checking in, checking out, which they're making it seem like, you know, new people are coming in, they're checking in. And then if you guys aren't making connections, they're making you check out. Yeah. When they were having new people come in, which I know you told me downstairs, they kept you in your room so that they could sneak them in. Yeah. It kind of made me think, are you guys seeing other people go to other people's rooms? Like, that's happening?
It's funny because they didn't include that. But to me, that's like a huge part of the show is like, people were crawling to each other's room. Like, people were on their knees and on their, like, elbows.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Army crawling room to room. And it's, like, what made the show, the concept at least, fun to me is that we're all in a motel room. So it's, like, giant, you know, the classic motel setup. You can, like, see outside of your window because it's all, like, facing each other. And, yeah, you can see when people are crossing over. People are peeking their heads out of their room to see where other people are going. And the thing is, you only had a certain amount of time. So it's not, like, you're gonna like stay up all night and then sneak at like 4 a.m. to someone's room. Like, you only had like between the hours of like, and again, we didn't have a clock, so who knows what the actual hours were, but like you only had like when the lights were flashing to like go to someone's room and then when the lights went off. So it's like,
how long do you think was that span of time if you had to put like a guess?
If I had to guess, I'd say between 12 and 2 or 12 and 3. I don't know. It felt like midnight. Like, you know how you have a feeling? Yeah. I'm like, I feel like it's midnight because we would usually do our dinners, like our link lowdowns, and then it would be like the lights going off like right after that. So I feel like it was like midnight. Okay. And that just feels like Sneaky Link hours.
That is definitely Sneaky Link hours for sure. Okay, so then I did want to know when I saw that Kyle came in, and obviously everybody has their person coming in. Yeah. Did you kind of assume who was going to come in for you? Did you have like an inkling, or you were just completely like, gosh, I hope it's not this person, or I think it might be this person? How was that? Because you guys are realizing what the show's about in real time. And you weren't the first to have your Sneaky Link in. So you had some time to worry and stress.
Yeah. I think I had 3 people Sneaky Link come in before mine. So for me, I was like not sure if those were their exes. So, and I had just broken up with my ex like a year prior. So I was like, if they bring my ex, I did think it was going to be my ex. And again, because I haven't dated before, like I hadn't dated in like 2-3 years at that point. well, not dated, but like had a hookup situation, I was like, if they don't bring him in, maybe they'll bring this one Dominican guy I used to talk to. And then it's funny, I actually talked to him most recently, and I was like, did someone from like a network reach out to you, or like a production company reach out to you? Because he like sent me a photo of me on the show, and he was like, oh my God, like I'm watching your show. Yeah. And I was like, did anyone reach out to you? And he was like, not that I can remember. So I'm like curious if like they just, maybe I didn't name him. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm surprised that it wasn't him. Because if it wasn't like my ex, I would think it would be him. Right. There's like other people that I haven't spoken to since. So I'm like, are they secretly, you know, they were secretly asked to be on the show? Who knows? But yeah, I thought maybe if it was people's exes, that was the case. But when Kyle came out, it kind of made me shift to, okay, is this just like hooking up each other's friends? Because me and him are friends. So I was like, okay, is this just like get your homie a partner and he gets you a partner, you know? But when they were like, it's sneaky links, I was like, I don't know. This is not the first person I would think about to come out for me.
Thanks, guys. Please.
I'm like, no. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, before we go to the next question. Oh. Because I don't want to forget, I brought a gift for you.
Oh my, she told me this downstairs and I almost melted.
The bag is a little wrinkly because it had to make it through my suitcase.
I know she's not complaining about the bag. Like the fact that you even brought me a present, like I want to cry.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Hopefully it's not.
Sweet. Hopefully it's like not wrinkly.
Stop.
Wait, I want you to open it in front of everybody.
I am. That was the plan. I was not gonna.
You know when you're at the birthday party and you give somebody a card and they like break it open, you're kind of like, can you read that at home, girl?
Yeah.
Like-
no, baby. The anticipation. I almost snuck into it downstairs. I was like, you want to go to the bathroom? I gotta do some stuff.
Imagine I'm like, that was for my mom.
No, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I told her now I feel like the worst host ever. I'm like,
my God.
Do you want a beefsteak? Do you want some strawberries? Like, let me make it up to you.
I'm like, listen, no, I was just excited to come on here. So
you're so sweet.
Just a little gift.
Oh my God. Don't tell me that we're matching. Stop.
Yes.
Oh my God. I love this. I'm wearing this on my next episode. Like,
period.
I'm wearing this right when I'm done with this. Matter of fact. I love that we're matching. Oh my God. Now I feel like I need to go change.
Oh my God. Listen, I was like,
I love this.
This was like the biggest takeaway from the show. Everybody keeps saying House of Beauty, this is cutie to me from one of our phone calls. So I was like, you know what? Why not give the girls what they're asking for?
And the merch. Oh my God. And the little card.
The little card.
House of Beauty, this is cutie. How can I help
I'm like,
you?
from the Boondocks.
This is so cute.
Yes.
This is from, so you sell this now from your brand. Because if people don't know, Zoey does have a clothing brand.
Yes.
And it's Y2K vibes.
It's Y2K.
It's the vibes that she's in right now.
It's always the vibe. I feel like I wasn't even dressed like Y2K on the show because they were like no brands, no like logos, no sayings, no text. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go and dress like a basic bitch because I'm like, okay, well, if I can't.
Ate. you ate.
Thank you.
Stop. This is so sweet.
Thank you.
And I loved your shirt. When I saw it on you, I was like, oh my God, I need to start wearing stuff like that on the pod. I kid you, I'm like the bedazzled vibes. Like, that's so cute.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I was just
much.
like, okay, everybody needs a House of Beauty. This is cutie t-shirt. Unless you're not a cutie. I don't know what to tell you then.
Right. But. No, that's so cute. Thank you literally so much.
You are so welcome. All melting. I want is a photo of you wearing it. That's it.
Babe, I'm telling you, like, photos. When we're done with this, I'm going to change and we can take photos together, matching. Yes. I love it. I'm wearing, you guys are going to see me in the next episode literally wearing that shirt.
She's going to be like, hey guys, starting the Pink podcast off with Cutie herself.
Yeah, with the cutest merch ever. I'm glad that you made that into a shirt because that was definitely like your thing in the show.
Oh my God. So many people, even in like, in real life, people come up to me and they're like, House of Beauty, this is cutie. And I'm like, I feel like I should be like doing something with that. Like, that's too cute.
That is literally the cutest thing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Aww. I just want photos. That's all I want. Anybody who buys a shirt, take a photo and send it to me because I just want to see people wearing it. Like,
so cute. Well, we're on the topic of your brand. We're going to come back to the juicy tea of like the show, the production, your love relationship with your man, how that's going. A little tea on the rest of the contestants. We're going to get into that. But while we're on the topic of this really cute shirt and your brand, tell me about that because we were bonding downstairs for a second with the fact that I used to have a clothing brand and you have a clothing brand. And how was that for you? Like, when did you start your clothing brand? What inspired it? And just like, tell me about it.
Yeah, so I started it in 2019, which is crazy because it's 6 years now.
Same.
Stop! Don't tell me you started yours in 2019.
Twin? Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Oh my God.
Pre-COVID girlies.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I went to school for fashion. I studied design, and I was like, okay, I feel like my whole point of moving to New York and studying fashion was to do something like have my own brand.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for reruns. I watch the same shows from the 2000s over and over again. Yeah. Girls Next Door and Life in the Fab Lane, Simple Life, like movies too, like Bring It On, Clueless, all that. All that is just so my aesthetic. And I was like, okay, how do I take this further? How do I live this reality? And I was like, you know what? I feel like, especially in 2019, there wasn't this like Y2K resurgence like there is now.
Yeah, you're definitely a pioneer in the space.
Thank you.
They need to respect.
They need to respect.
Yeah.
But it's like all of a sudden, the stores that we had kind of growing up like disappeared. Like, of course, like Baby Fat has been like doing their thing now, but like back in 2019 there was no Baby Fat, 579, Wet Seal, Charlotte Russe, like all these like essential like young adult brands that existed like don't exist anymore. And so I was like, okay, where do you really shop besides like Depop and Poshmark and like thrift stores to get this kind of style? And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just give the girlies what they want. I'm gonna just do it. And it took me like a year between like conceptualizing, sample making, finding a manufacturer, all that, like at least like a year and a half. And so around April of 2019 was when it was like ready. I had like
Twin? Are you? This is so weird.
Is that?
That was literally around my time too.
Stop. That was just a time for the girlies to.
Okay, but keep going. That's when the manufacturer.
We're right here, you guys.
This is crazy. Right. All right, but keep telling.
And then her cat's name is Zoey.
And come on. There's what was
something's going on here?
What's that word that they use? When the invisible string theory.
Invisible string theory.
Okay, but back to you, April. So that's when the pieces started coming together. And then
started coming together after many failed attempts at trying to, I'm sure you know, like produce in large quantities, like going through so many like issues with manufacturers, factories, and just running out of money. Like it was so many issues. It took so long. And then in April 2019, I finally like had like a launch party for it. And I was like, this is my, and I came up with the name like, I think 2 weeks before I had a launch party.
Whoa.
Because I wanted Marzo, which looking back, I'm like, LOL, what? But like Marzo is like, Martin is my last name, so M-A-R, and then of course Zoey, so Marzo.
That's cute though.
But there's like a jewelry brand that exists.
Oh.
So I was trying to trademark it, but it was already trademarked. So then I was like, okay, well I gotta figure out a name because I need labels. So 2 weeks before, I just like was jotting down all these names. I think I still have it in my notes app. It was just like a ton of names, and they were all just like super cheesy and like. I wanted it to be cheesy because I wanted it to be like young. I was like, it's got to be like Baby Fat. It's like kind of cheesy. It's young, you know? So I was like, okay. Or Juicy Couture or, you know? So I was like, okay, Dolly. And then I kept putting Dolly with different names. Like, I don't even remember at this point. But then like stuff like Dolly Bling or Dolly, like just thinking of stuff. And then it came Dolly Dearest. And I was like, that's actually kind of cute.
Super cute.
Like how you have the Pink podcast, like something that sounds like, okay, the same letter. And then one of my friends, he was like, okay, oh, Dolly. And I was like, oh, Dolly Dearest. I was like, okay, that sounds kitschy and cute and camp. So
super catchy, super cute.
Thank you.
And I feel like even if somebody didn't know what the clothing brand entailed, like you say the name and you already get a good feel for it. You get a feel. Yeah. So you definitely bodied it with the name.
Yes, thank you.
Has it changed from when you first started? Because I know when I started my brand, it kind of took so many turns along the way. Yeah. Did you feel like yours kind of changed a lot, or you kind of stayed with your original ideas and concept and just evolved it to the next level?
I think maybe the latter. I've tried to keep it pretty much the same as when I first started. I just feel like maybe not as, what's the word, salacious as when I first started. Like it was super like short skirts and like really low cut tops. And I was like, okay, there needs to also be like aspects of it that are really wearable for girls in their everyday life, because not everybody's going to the club. You know, it's like, it's got to be something that I guess is like versatile. So I was like, okay, I don't want it to just be this one kind of style that's like really, really out there. Like I almost thought about like a combination of like BB and like what's that really young brand that's like IMGA, like BB, IMGA, like there's this really like sexy vibe to it, but then there's also this like, there's pieces that you can wear out in public and it's not gonna have people like double take you in a bad way, like, damn girl, that dress is short, you know, that skirt is short, you know. So I think I've evolved it to be a little bit more mature in some aspects. I think definitely working with retailers helped, because they, like Nordstrom, for example, when I sent them my initial line sheet, they would make tweaks on it. And a lot of their tweaks I would notice would be like, okay, like extend that hemline, like that needs to be a little bit longer. Like we need sleeves on that, you know? And so I was like, okay, there's a wearability quality that has to be there if you're going to be making any kind of clothing. Like it needs to be just a bit more of a wider range for people to choose from, because some people are like really shy and they're not going to put on something that's just so out there. And then even the people that will, it's like maybe you don't want to like just kind of cut off your base, you know? Yeah. I will say, like, y'all, the work just begins when you get into a store. Like, just, I guess, like, between getting onboarded and then placing the order, packing and shipping and labeling, which is a beast, and then getting it to their warehouse and waiting to get paid, because there's always some net blah, blah, blah terms. The work just begins. When you get that order placed, the work has just begun. It takes, and the thing was, I was like, just me. So I was like, okay, I'm shipping it to like 2 of their stores, and there's all these, like, if you ever dealt with like, they're called routing guides, but it's basically what stores send you and how it should arrive at the warehouse, which means it needs to be like individually labeled with barcodes that are scannable, and it has to have like some things for Nordstrom have to have hangers, specific hangers, and you have to order from their suppliers, and you have to have like UPC, like you got to put it in poly bags, you have to fold it a certain way. It is rigorous. It is rigorous. And so for me, I just started calling on family and being like, can you help me pack this order? Can you help me ship this? And it's like boxes and boxes in my apartment just of me trying to ship stuff. Like I'll send you like a video of what it looks like when I was in my apartment doing it, and it's insane. And then they have their like third party like shipping company come pick it all up, and it looks like a giant U-Haul truck, and you're shipping. It's a lot. That is so like cool though. I'm sure like in the beginning stages of that, you must have felt like, I made it. I'm done. Like when you get to the end of it, you can breathe and you're like, wow, okay, I did it. But when you're in it, you're like I was like, I'm just a girl. It's just me. You know that video? There's like a video of I don't know if it's not Judge Judy, whatever the judge is, and she's like, Miss Jackson, and she's like, that was you. Literally, I was like, because they're like, even working, like I've spent my whole life working in production, but like when you're actually. Like I know she's sensitive. I gotta take care of her. Sensitive. I had to give her a breakdown of the mic. She's a sensitive. She's girl. A sensitive girly. Aren't we all? Yeah. But yeah, I was like, I have to do what? Like I'm reading this 30-page like guide on how to ship stuff, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I am just a girl. Yeah. Yeah, and you have to submit all this paperwork to be onboarded. It's a lot. So just know like. It takes a lot when you're shipping to retailers, but I will say once you know how to do it, you can really be on a roll, because they'll always give you feedback too. They'll always be like, this came in and these weren't scannable. And they also too will deduct it from your invoice. So you will never make that mistake again. Yeah. That's a one-time lesson. For sure. Like, you don't have to tell me twice, but that's a really good way to grow your business, because I wouldn't say like some people have like so many celebrities that wear their brands or so many different. I'm like, I don't have those connections yet. So, you know, I sent something to Megan Thee Stallion one time. She didn't wear it. Maybe she will one day. Yeah, yet. I'm like, it's been 4 years. I'm like, yet. No, but I mean, really, like you are doing it, almost like the more important groundwork, because I feel like that's anybody's real dream. And obviously there's like a little bit of a shortcut if you get a celebrity and this and that. Yeah. But that's only in a sense like short-lived. That's a picture. It's a moment. Somebody might go buy that product because they got inspired, and then it kind of goes away. Momentum, being in the stores and like having that like groundwork that you've done, that's really like the best route for any brand, truthfully. You feel like when you signed up to those shows, you like back then, like in 2025 or not, when you were 25, you feel like you kind of had that like, you know, I want to go and
hopefully this kind of like boosts my brand also, because I think anybody with 2 cents knows like, okay, if I go on the show, I'm gonna get some sort of fame or people are gonna notice me, and that's some way or another gonna translate into my brand.
I feel like more than I feel like back in the day when I was trying to get on Love Island, it was less about that for me than it has been like now. I feel like now, especially in the age of that we're in with social media and branding and influencers and all that, it's like I understand the value now. Back then, I was just like, I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm trying to go find love. And I'm trying to like twerk somebody's face. Like now I'm like, because even when I got reached out to from the casting producer, I was like, I'm not interested in reality TV anymore. Like I just got out of a relationship 2 weeks ago. I'm like not interested. And then I was like, well, think about your brand. Like at least if you genuinely are like skeptical about it, at least think about like what you can kind of gain from it. So I wouldn't say I went on the show thinking I was going to get famous or get my brand popping, but I was thinking of the possibility of like benefiting in that way. Yeah. That would be worth it. Like that would make the show worth it to me. So I think now, like the more mature me looks at it that way. But back then I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, oh yeah, like I got a brand, whatever. My name is Ann, I'm 25 and I can like, so I just feel like now I'm looking at things. You just grow up and you get more like intentional about things. Yes. I'm like, okay, if I go on and I don't find love, then maybe I can boost some views for my brand and my business. So that made it worth it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Apart from you getting a little bit more reach for your brand, which is obviously awesome and part of your intention of, accepting the offer, you also did come out with Love, okay? One of the best couples, if not the best, if I say so myself, okay? I genuinely watched the whole thing. I still feel like you guys were my favorites.
Thank you.
You guys made it through.
Yeah.
And from what I heard downstairs, you guys are the only ones that made it through.
I won't say we're the only ones that made it through, but I will say we're the only ones currently still standing.
Okay.
I'll let whoever wants to address what they want to address.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what's funny is like I don't think people realize it has been a year since we filmed. So it's like
it's a long time.
It's a long time. But people also think we stayed together from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. That wasn't the case. We have not stayed together from beginning to end. From last summer till this summer. We have been it's so funny too, reading comments that are like, you guys are so mature and unproblematic. And I'm like, that man. They're like, Travis is such a gentleman. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. But because we're long distance. So it's like,
it's tough.
It's almost like long distance sometimes feels just like la la land. It feels like this idea that you're dating, but you're not really dating because they're not like in front of you all the time. Yeah. And that last year has been like, up and down, in and out, talk a little bit, don't talk, see him, don't see him. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's hard to really like explain what it's been like leaving the show because it hasn't been consistent all the way through. Yeah. Now we're in a good place. Now we're on the same page and we're like working on things and we're really like, okay, yeah, we're dating. This is how we want to present. Cool. But it wasn't like that for an entire year. Like, I know other couples might have stayed together for an entire year, but like for us, we just could not figure out with the distance, schedules, his lifestyle, my lifestyle, how we were going to make this work. And we're a lot alike in a lot of ways, but we're also very, very different. We were raised differently. We grew up in different environments. So there's a lot of things with like, even like communication that both of, like, first of all, like we're both really petty. Like people don't realize that about us. We're both, Travis can be tit for tat. And I can be tat for tip. So like.
Well, you are a Gemini. You told me. I am a Gemini. I asked you because I couldn't resist. But what's Travis?
He's Aries.
Oh.
So.
Oh, right. It was in the. I can't believe I didn't write that down because it wasn't in one of the episodes.
The astrology thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did have like an astrology episode where they had like an astrology expert come in. I know all the astrology girlies were eating that episode up.
Girl, and I'm not an astrology girl. I'm like, no, I'm not. But I'm also just like, this is just fun to feed into. So I'm like, let me hear this lady talk. What's she talking about?
It's like a fortune cookie.
Yes.
It's like, why not believe it? Especially when they tell you something good. You're like, that applies.
It's also like, it's something for the girls. Yeah. Like as a man, why are you into astrology?
It's literally for the girls and the girls only.
It's literally, who's who's that girl? Flossy Baby on TikTok. Do you know her?
Maybe not by name. I suck with names. I was like writing down names of everybody from the show because I'm like, I only remember you and Travis and like Manny, but I keep like confusing other people. I'm like, who's Nicole? Nicole, this one.
Like, you're like Nicole A, and we're like, there was no Nicole A on the show.
I suck with names, but what about that? Maybe it'll come to me.
Flossy Baby is this girl on TikTok. She always does like a list of what's for the girls and what's like not for the guys. And on her list was like astrology. She's like, astrology? No, that's for the girls.
That's heavily for the girls only.
That is so heavily for the girls. So yeah. Because Aries is what, fire?
Yes.
And I'm air. And I don't know what that means. I genuinely don't know what that means. But like, we can be very petty. You know what it is too? It's a lot of like, I think for both of us, ego and pride. It's like, giving up your pride over certain situations, like swallowing your pride in certain situations is so hard for me to do because I'm like, I'd rather be not together than be wrong. Like, but then the other end, I'm like, no, I don't.
Right.
I just want to be together.
I'm just a girl. Wait, I didn't mean it, Pookie. Please.
I didn't mean it, Pookie. And I feel like sometimes with the both of us, we do admittedly feel like time is forgiveness. And that's not always the case. Like, I feel like for us, like, if we went months without talking and then we talked again, it would be totally fine. Like, everything would be cool. Like, somebody would drop something in the group chat and then I'd reach out to him or he'd reach out to me and then it's, like, all good again. But then we didn't address anything that happened before. Like, we didn't address how, like, why we stopped talking in the first place. Or, like, I don't know, even he would tell me, like, oh, I faded out because you faded out. And I'm like, I only faded out because you faded out. So it's, like, I think even we're in our 30s and we're still trying to figure out communication. And like I said, I feel like I've been more so vulnerable lately, like in the past couple months, especially with the show coming out, more vulnerable about how I feel, because I feel like sometimes he's like, well, I don't know how you feel. So I don't know how like serious to take you if we're going to like actually try this and be long distance, or if it's just like, yeah, we're going to do this and then it's just going to fade out again. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to tell you how I feel, but I don't want to be left out in the cold if I tell you how I feel. And then, you know what I mean? But also it's just being a girl. You don't want to be like, you want someone who's going to catch you. Yeah. You don't want to be like putting your feelings out there and then he's like, good on me. Thanks. Thanks for that. You know, it's like, okay, well, I need to know like you feel the same way too. And so, yeah, we've had many more serious conversations as of lately than we did like in the past year. Like in the past year, I think it was just like learning each other, learning our communication styles. And also I will say like the great thing about Travis and I is like we are friends first. And I feel like that is the most essential thing in any relationship is like being friends first, because I feel like in a lot of relationships that I've had, I jumped into just being boyfriend and girlfriend instead of being like, who are you as a person? How do you handle like when you're upset? Like, how is your communication style? Like, are you over your past trauma? Like, so, and I think that's the thing about us. It's like, we can get really deep and vulnerable because we're very like on the surface, like we're very playful. We're very jokey. House of Beauty. This is cute. Like our phone conversations would go on forever because we would just be like, producers would be calling like, get off of the phone. For real? They would really tell you to like cut it out? Really quick, like so you don't control your lights in your room. The producers do. Yeah. So there would be nights where I would go to his room and we would be like there was this one night we were like making out and the lights went off and they slowly go off too. So we were like making out, and then after we were done like making out, we started like talking about stupid shit like SpongeBob and like how we grew up and our past trauma, and the lights came on and we were like, oh, and then we like stop talking about that and go back to making out and the lights go back off. And so all night they're just playing with our lights because we go from like joking to like making out to like talking about something serious to like doing a skit to like making out. So the whole night
that is so weird. Imagine being that producer who's tired. They're like, can they fall asleep, bro?
God, yes, that's literally, oh my God, that's literally what we were saying. We literally were like, production is like, if you guys just don't have sex and go to bed. We're gonna crash out right now. And so we had a running joke, especially in the beginning, that like our toggles had cobwebs on them. Like they just wouldn't even touch our lights because they're like, they just gonna be talking all night. And we'd be talking all night, and the producers would call the room and be like, go to bed, stop talking. Like that's how like silly we are.
You guys want me to get on the show and fall in love, and you won't let me do the groundwork.
Right. I'm like, hello. I know everybody else is in their rooms getting freaky right now, but honey.
You were telling me downstairs that the production was definitely
they were egging it on.
and you know, doing their big one so that people will be getting freaky.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when they did air out the show, if you guys have watched the show, it's not as freaky as they wanted it to be themselves.
I have so many theories on this. I feel like they wanted to angle it, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like they wanted to angle it towards the too hot to handle crowd, and then had to change a heart during editing and said, no, we're going to make it more Love is Blind. And I feel like based on how they edited it and show everything, it just looks way more mature than, I guess, not that it was, but they took out a lot of the sexual aspects of it. They took out a lot of the drama, a lot of the yelling and the screaming and the people hooking up. Like, y'all, it was really juicy. Like, it's hilarious seeing on like Reddit and things like that, people being like, this cast is so boring. Cause I'm like, these people are not boring. They are freaky and crazy. And yet, like, so many fights were edited out. So many, like I told you earlier, but like, there's a scene where they separate the guys and the girls. The guys go on a camping trip. The girls go on a spa day. And they give us an iPad and they show us basically all the people having sex and like hooking up. Like there's basically like hookup. It's basically what's going on at night in people's rooms. And it's all hookups and like foot on headboard. Like it's real freaky.
Wait, question while we're on that. Did that happen while Kelsey was already in the show?
Yes.
So did she get to see Angelique and... Oops. So she got her answers.
Well, is that what?
Oh,
here you want the twist. So,
because I know she was like, "Hello."
She wanted to know, right? Yeah. So they show a clip, and I know my girl is probably like, "Girl, don't be talking about my business." But they show a clip, and it is unclaimed who it is, and all the girls say it's not us. Like we're all like, "Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me." And we get to Angelique, and she's like, "Not me," and Kelsey's like,
well, who else could it be?
And so, like, no one claimed it, basically. But we know.
Yeah.
But you couldn't, like, see who it was.
But did they show that to her after she had already been, like, questioning him about, did you sleep with her? Did you not sleep with her?
We don't know if when she exactly asked him, because I think they asked in, like, bed. But she did ask Angelique while, like, we were all in the little circle. She was like, did you and Colt, like, do anything? And Angelique was like, no. Yeah. So but then when she asked Colt, he gave that weird answer. Yeah. So Kelsey kind of was like, wait, who's telling the truth?
Right. Now I'm wondering if the spa happened before that. Well,
yeah.
Oof, that's interesting.
It was juicy, girl. It was intense.
And you told me that Spicy Mari, which was, there was like basically two hosts. There was like the main host who just comes in and she's like, we're having a challenge today. Yeah. Yes. And then kind of like the relationship guru of the show, Spicy Mari, kind of like a therapist-esque vibe of like coaching you guys through your relationships. Yeah. Kind of like the Judge Judy of the vibes.
Oh my God, she was Judge Judy.
And you told me that she kind of got into a little spicy altercation with Kelsey and Angelique, because if you guys didn't watch the show yet, Angelique and Kelsey were kind of beefing over the same boy, Colt. And what was that? Because you basically told me that there was so much tea and drama that would have made the show extra juicy, and they kind of made it very vanilla. Because even I myself, when I watched, I was like, this is chill, this is nice, it's not like too crazy. I really thought the craziest things were like Colt and Brandon, and I'm like, everything else is kind of, you know, and Angelique kind of had her little crash out moments, and then the rest I was like, okay, everybody's kind of chilling. Like,
yeah, it's funny because they completely took it out, but Spicy Mari completely got in Kelsey, and there was basically like, we were all at the Link Lowdown, and that whole like back and forth that they did, like Angelique and Kelsey was basically trying to like defend herself, and she was like, you know, I don't owe you any loyalty, like I just got here, I had to do what I had to do, blah blah blah. And so Spicy Mari was kind of like, you know, telling her like, listen, no, you need to take accountability for the fact that you didn't have to do that, but you did that, and you need to like respect like her feelings, that she's kind of like, you stepped on my toes, blah blah blah. And like Kelsey tried to defend herself, and Spicy Mari was like, I'm talking. And it was you guys, there was no like fakeness about it, like, oh, silly fun, like stop talking. She was serious. She was like, no, she's like, can I say something? She's like, no, you may not. And she starts like going in, and then literally after she's done, it's dead quiet. She goes, now you may speak. And I was like, I don't even want to swallow because it's so quiet up in here. Yeah.
I would have cried.
I would have cried too.
I'm a crier. Like, I hate being embarrassed. Like, if in school, if a teacher ever said, like, you're being bad, stop talking, I would cry. I'm like,
and it was like stern finger up. I was like, I was scared to swallow. I was scared for her.
That's so scary. I mean, if you guys haven't watched it yet, so let me just catch you up because that was some tea. Basically, there was the original cast, and then there was people coming in as kind of like tests to those relationships or just like new options. Angelique and Colt were some of the originals. They didn't know each other from their past. They weren't past sneaky links.
Yeah.
But they did end up creating a connection similar to you and Travis. You guys were OGs, but you guys didn't come in as sneaky links. You guys just each other's sneaky links, you know, because Angelique and Travis were things. So you guys kind of like sister wives in there and a little bit.
Eskimo sisters.
Eskimo sisters for real. So then, yeah, basically Angelique and Colt had kind of created a bond, and eventually Kelsey comes in as like the new toy, the bombshell, the new diva at the house. And, you know, she liked Cole and she kissed him on the first day. But in my defense, because when I watch the show, obviously they give those new bombshells, let's call them, because we're all in our Love Island era right now.
Oh yeah, we're coming off Love Island.
So we're all traumatized. So let's call them bombshells. The new bombshells. They were given 12 hours to create a connection, and if not, they were going to get checked out of the motel. One of those people that came in was Cornelius. Is that his name? No.
Oh my God, wait, I love that.
It's not Cornelius.
Corinthian. Cornelius the third.
I suck with names. I told you, and I cannot. I've never heard that name before. It's a very long. It's hard for me. I'm Cuban first. Okay, Corinthian.
Yes.
Corinthian and Kelsey were like the bombshells of the day. Kelsey made out with Cole, and then Spicy Maddie, which, like I said, was like the little therapist there, was like,
Yeah.
And I felt like genuinely like. I felt like that was wrong. I mean, I didn't know that happened because you told me the tea.
Yeah.
But I felt like Angelique was kind of going crazy. I'm like, they gave them 12 hours. Like, who wouldn't kind of try to stamp, you know, like make their little
I feel like I see both sides. I feel like obviously Angelique's my girl. Yeah. And when I saw it, I think because I was objectively in the same situation as far as like I was on a date with the bombshell. Colt was on a date with the bombshell. I feel like I didn't take it, or not even me, but Corinthian didn't take it that far. And what's funny, and I think they did show this, but I can't remember. I said out of respect for Travis, even though they showed us getting to know each other on the first day, that's not how it happened. We didn't get to know each other till like the 5th day or something.
That day?
Me and Travis.
Oh, you and Travis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, and he was already getting to know other people. It was like out of respect for the fact that I have another connection, I didn't even let him massage me. And
I saw that.
And not even to like be like all like, oh, I'm so good, like too good or something. But like, I think the extent that she took it was a bit much to kind of, like you said, like make her stamp, because also Brandon was expressing interest in her. I don't know if they showed that, but Brandon was like really excited when Kelsey got there.
I don't remember. Maybe
I don't know if they showed that. Yeah,
he
was like kid in a candy store when she walked in. Like he was like, so I feel like out of the fact that there's other people that want to get to know you.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of understand both sides of being like, okay, I don't know if you had to take it so far on your very first day of like getting to know him, but I do understand that you don't owe anybody any loyalty. So you're kind of just like, I'm here to do what I have to do. Like if he's with some other girl, I want to turn his head. So I do get both sides, and I feel like it's more about Colt and his inability to kind of set boundaries than it is about the girls. And that's what was getting me upset when I was at the table, because I'm like, these girls are going in and Spicy Maddie's going in. And I'm like, where is Colt in the conversation? Right. Let's enter him in the conversation, because I feel like if you and Angelique are building this bond where she feels like, okay, well, you're like basically my man. We don't know what he's telling her. And then Kelsey comes in and she's able to kiss you because you're not, you know, turning it down or you're not establishing boundaries. There's a conversation that needs to go on with him. Right. And as we know later in the show, he clearly was like telling lies, playing both sides, sneaking to talk to Kelsey at night. So I do empathize with Angelique, because I'm like, okay, if a guy is telling me one thing and then I found out he's like making out with a girl on her first day, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. And on top of that, it had been like the second week, like by the second week, like they had been like, and they also too, I will say like, and I told Angelique this, I was like, I feel like you guys closed off too soon, because they were so like locked in on each other. That's what made it shocking too, because I feel like if Corinthian and I had made out or she picked Brandon, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal because like no one else had been closed off. Like everybody was super open to getting to know everybody. Like there probably would have been some frustration. But of all the couples, Angelique and Colt were like solid from day one. So it kind of was like, when I like saw the kiss, I was like, this is the guy that basically is not getting to know any other girl here. He stamped his girl. Yeah. And she's also doing the same. So I kind of was like, like that's crazy that like so easily you're being like, your head's being turned, you know?
Do you know now after the show's over, because I'm sure in the moment you don't know, do you know if they got to watch a little preview of what was going on? Kind of like Love Island where they show you a little bit? Like,
oh, the bombshells.
Yeah, or no. No. So then that's another, I feel like, not me being like the Kelsey attorney, but I feel like, you know, you're so used to watching other shows, like for example, Love Island, and you know you're supposed to come in and kind of like make yourself known. And I feel like if she didn't know that they were so close and like so serious, like what you're saying, like so locked in and all this and that, and she's interested, she's like, I'll make out with you. Why not?
I think we're playing Angel and Devil because you're like, I'm like standing up for my girl, Angelique. But no, I feel like
I understand her. I would have crashed out that hard on Colt. That's where I feel like I would have had a difference. Like I would have definitely crashed out on Colt if I was her. I feel like, you know, like I see the frustration, and like I was saying, I don't think I would be cool with Kelsey if I was Angelique, because you're stepping on my toes, you're stepping on my neck.
Coming from my neck.
But yeah, I feel like the crash out Colt was what should have happened. Crash out for Colt, you know?
I think genuinely the reason Angelique she wasn't even as mad as I feel like she could have been, but I feel like the reason she was upset with Kelsey is because they had that conversation the night before Kelsey made out with Colt, where she was like letting her know like me and Colt are the only ones in here who were like locked in, the only ones in here who were like kind of like not getting to know other people. Like her and Colt straight up weren't getting to know other people. So I think that's why she kind of came in on some like, okay, I heard through the grapevine this might be his type, so let me just like establish the ground rules. And I don't exactly remember what Kelsey said, but I feel like she probably was just like, oh, okay, clear, got it, instead of being like, oh yeah, I want to get to know your man. So when it happened the way it happened, and then on top of that, like Brandon expressed extreme interest when she came in. Like Brandon was like ears perked up, like that is my type. So we all kind of thought when they asked who do you want to take on the date, she was going to choose Brandon. Yeah. Because it was like, okay, Angelique and Cole are seriously locked in. Everybody knew that. And Brandon had such a huge like gun for like going for Kelsey. So we kind of were like, okay, they're going to choose each other. And when she chose Cole, it was kind of like, we all looked around like, oh, well, because like, not that they had like, everyone was like, oh, wait, why? It was more just like, I don't know. They just seemed to be doing their own thing. Yeah. So it kind of was like, okay, you know, even on Love Island, you have that where there's that one couple, Jeremiah and Huda, you know, listen.
Yeah, there's parallels.
There's parallels. Yeah. And so, I think that's why, even when I talk to Angelique, I'm like, I do understand aspects where you could have definitely just been like, way more chill. Like you just could have been on some like, girl, this ain't my man. Like this is somebody I'm getting to know, versus like it felt very like this is my man. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like she could crash out harder. I mean, especially, I'm sorry, I guess because I just watched Love Island too. I'm like, when I think about crash out, I think about like Huda. Like the crash out where like
Hurricane Huda.
I'm like, well, Angelique just made a splash. Like compared to that, you know?
I think it's because they didn't show us her crashing out so much on Colt. That it felt like, girl, crash out on him, because I feel like everybody wanted her to crash out on him. Like,
what's funny too, right? What's so funny too is then they also took this out, but there was one night where everybody had to stand up and say who they are choosing to like pursue. So you only chose one person, and Colt chose Angelique. And the way Colt was like standing up and like talking about her, he kept bringing up like loyalty. He was like, so of course like Kelsey and Angelique both stood up because they wanted Colt. Yeah. And so, especially to me, after the taco thing where he served both girls tacos.
Oh my God. We need to get into that.
Oh my God.
We didn't get into you. You had double plates.
Oh, not me having more than I could chew.
Man, you had a lot on your plate.
I had a lot on my plate.
Ooh. And then your man came in like, no, you don't need that.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that was sexy.
That was a good scene.
That was a good scene.
That would have...
Roll the clip.
Yeah. Right here. If you guys don't know, really quick, basically there was like this little episode where the challenge for the episode was like the boys had to create or make like a little dinner, lunch, whatever, like a food item of their choice for the girl that they were interested in. And Colt Mr. Problematic. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're not kidding.
Oh, he had 2 love interests, as you guys have heard, Kelsey and Angelique. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he cooked them each a plate, which he was the only guy to cook 2 plates, right?
Yeah, because you weren't supposed to do that.
You know what? He became a chef in the moment.
Listen, he threw together his little diner.
Yeah, all the other boys were just making one. He took his time. He made 2 meals. But you, Missy, were the only girl to get 2 meals yourself.
The reason that whole scene is just so shocking is because at that point, I didn't know that Travis had sealed off his connection with Nicole. And so also let me put in perspective, when I said in the beginning, me and Travis didn't get to know each other until like the 5th day, him and I think both Nicoles were getting to know him, and Nicole V was more so leaning towards Manny. So then her and Travis kind of faded out. Nicole S had faded things with Brandon. So Nicole S and Travis were like really getting to know each other. Like they seemed to be, at least for me, like moving at a quicker pace than we were. So at that point, I kind of in my mind, even though I was still getting to know Travis, I still had in my mind that he was more into Nicole S. So during the challenge, I thought it made sense that Corinthian served me and Travis served Nicole. So that's why when Travis came and like took Corinthian's plate, I was like, ooh, this changes things.
Because they had Corinthian serve you first.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're like, okay, ha, ha, ha. And then your boo, Travis, comes and he gives you the plate. And then he takes Corinthian's plate, the one that he cooked for you, away. He said, she's done with that.
She's done.
And I was like, oh.
That was
a really romantic scene. Like, I watched it and I was rooting for him. I was like, that's exactly what you should have done. That's exactly what he needed to do.
It was a power move. It definitely was like 2 lions in the wild fighting for the female lion. And the girl in me, the woman in me was
eating it up.
He was eating it up. No pun intended, right?
Literally eating it up.
But yeah, I will say like that was the turning point for me and Travis, because it was like he showed interest. We had conversations, sure. And of course, I keep telling you everything they didn't show, but they didn't show the egg challenge where they showed the challenge itself, but there was a scene where they asked Travis in here give us an example of something where you got like, I don't know, really close to someone or something. And he was like, oh, in a recent conversation that I had with someone in here, like I felt really, the word was like stimulated or something. Okay. He was like, I felt really stimulated. And so inside, I had just had a conversation with Travis, so I'm like, this is clearly about me. Like, I'm like twirling my hands, like, yeah. And they were like, okay, extra points if you could say who it's about. And he was like, yeah, it's about Nicole. And I literally was like, wah, wah, wah. I was like, so from him answering that way, I was like, okay, me and Travis don't have as good of a connection as he does with Nicole S. So, you know, I kind of backed up a little and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him explore that. You know, I'm not gonna like intrude upon that or anything. Like I'm gonna let them continue to get to know each other, and hopefully, because Corinthian wasn't here by this time. Yeah. So I was like, well, hopefully somebody comes in for moi. So then Corinthian comes in, and it just made sense that I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to know Corinthian then, because, you know, Travis already has his connection, and it was like he was having his way at first. He got like all these girls that were interested in him, and I didn't have that. I didn't have guys who were interested in me. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll get to know Travis, and if somebody comes in, and then Corinthian comes in. So I was like, okay, me and Corinthian gonna do our thing.
That put a little fire under
That Travis's put a little butt. Fire under his ass. Can I say ass?
Yeah. Girl, until we get a big sponsor that's like no cursing, we're gonna curse up in here.
We're gonna say what we want.
We're gonna wear whatever labels we whatever brands, and we're gonna curse. So yep.
Yeah. Fire under his ass. And the power move of the challenge like really showed me like, okay, obviously, I don't want Nicole to not get served. I didn't want any of the girls to not get served. That's not a good feeling. Yeah, but it was like a very like, from an egotistical standpoint, I was like, oh, okay, not 2 men fighting for me. Not 2 shirtless men fighting for me. I was like, in my life, this is a regular Tuesday. But I was just like, yeah, this is the way it should be. So it showed me like, okay, Travis is interested in me.
Because it was definitely like what you're saying. Like before that, he had his little way, and then, you know, he had a little moment to kind of get back into business and be like, oh, wait, other people want my girl. Let me hurry up.
I just feel like dealing with pretty boys. This is my experience. And this is my problem. And even night 1 when Travis came in, like I remember Travis walking in and I was like, I can't go for him because that's my usual type. I'm usually into the pretty boys, the like, little light skin with the curly hair. I was like, I need to go for somebody else. I was like, I need to go for like, I think I named Brandon just off first looks. I was like, I'm gonna go for Brandon. Like, I'm not going for Travis. Yeah. Like, that's always where my mistake. Let me switch it up. Let me switch it up. And so, of course, I end up with Travis. Old habits die hard. Yep. But yeah, pretty boys, they always have this like, okay, the girls want me, so I get to move how I want. So it was nice to have the card shift like to my hands, because then it showed me like, okay, he's interested. Yeah. And
I love that you were so nonchalant, like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're gonna know her. I don't care.
I
know. And it's like, yeah, whatever.
Meanwhile, I'm in my room like,
right, but
ripping pages out my notebook.
That's perfect though, being bothered in private and then unbothered in public. Because ew, like watching the man get so happy when there's girls fighting over them.
It makes me sick. I know
Colt was feeling himself for sure, and I'm glad that you didn't do that for Travis. I'm glad that you just let him think that you were unbothered and get to know everybody. And then I think that that's why he was so chill when Corinthian came in, and then he was like, I guess I gotta let her explore it and not make a big fuzz.
Yeah.
Because like you were doing the same thing, Papa.
Hello.
It's my turn.
I'm on your right. It's my turn. It's my turn. Yeah, I do feel like in the initial, because I didn't really have any like options in there. Like when I first came in, like none of the guys were attracted to me, but it was fine. Because in the initial night one, we all stood in a circle as a group, and the producers were like, okay, everybody go by one and say who you like. And like, no one said me. So I kind of was like, who am I going to get to know here? Like, I really didn't know. And I looked at Travis and I was like, he's my usual type of guy I go for. So let me move on from that. And like, so yeah, one night I call Brandon. They didn't show this, but one night I call Brandon and I go to his room and I'm sneaky linking with him.
Why didn't they show this?
They just didn't want anybody to like, they didn't want any spice in this show. They wanted it to be all vanilla. They're like, y'all can have water with lemon, no tea. But I went to Brandon's room and we hit it off. Like we were cool, whatever. And then the very next day he's like, you're just such a great friend, like immediate friend zone. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna kill me now. I was like, where is Love Island? Why am I not on the right show?
What the heck?
So then, yeah, it was like between the first week was really rough for me. It was like between not having a guy that was like interested in me and like I had one guy I was interested in who had so many options. I was like, yeah, this is not looking good. And then Kyle went home. So then I like lost my friend because they were like, well, he's not making connections. Goodbye. So I was like, well, I'm clearly next because I'm not making connections. So yeah.
I know, obviously, we're saying you and Brandon ended up being friends. You kind of just friend zoned it. But you and Angelique were super close. Like, you guys are friends.
Yeah.
And Travis and Angelique had a past.
Yeah.
How was that like for you? First of all, watching them have a thing in person while you had a crush on him, but then also rewatching it after you guys have been a couple for a while, you know, on and off, whatever. There's more feelings now. Yeah. You're watching it a year later. I feel like regardless of how long ago it is, like I would hate to think about my man making out with a girl, rather like watching something like that on TV. Like, how's that whole experience? Watching it in person and then watching it back a year later.
Yeah. I feel like it's such a different scenario because I got to know them both first, like at the same time versus meeting Angelique and like later meeting Travis and being like, this is weird. We're friends. It's like we weren't friends first. We were like all put in the same scenario.
Yeah.
And I do get that question a lot. People are like, well, how is it with like Angelique being Travis's sneaky link and them having a thing in the past? And I'm like, it just doesn't feel connected to me because I just know them in this lens. And it's like, in this lens, they're just like friends. They don't have anything. And it's like, even for the most part, when we're all together, they argue. They like barely get along. We're all together. They're like, he's so annoying. She's like, he's so annoying. He's like, she's so annoying. I'm like, so it's more like sibling vibe between the two of them. Like they definitely like, as soon as we got to the Sneaky Links motel, like I was curious. Like all the girls were curious. Like what's everybody's sneaky link situation? We're all like, what's your relationship with so-and-so or so-and-so? And she was like, I mean, we've hooked up in the past, but like it's never gotten serious. And he said the same thing. And he was like, they both were just basically like, we cut it off. And like, I mean, kind of the same thing with Kyle, except I never got intimate. Well, yeah, never got intimate, but like maybe one time. But I was like, yeah, Kyle can get to know anybody in here and I'm not going to feel away, you know? And I think it's different based on like the rules of girl code, I think are different if you guys know each other beforehand. If I was cool with Angelique and then met her sneaky link Travis after, that'd be different. Cause it's like, okay, now I've known you and I've known like your past situation with someone. And it's also like how much our feelings involved, you know. But I think when we're all put in the same scenario, it's almost like Samira and Avery. It's like, it doesn't feel as weird because it's like, okay, we know the dynamic. We all met at the same time versus like, okay, yeah, girl, we've been friends for 2 years and then you tell me about this guy from your past. Now I'm dating him. That's weird, you know?
That is really weird.
And you know me, I'm a girl's girl. I'm big on girl codes. I'm very much like, let me know the situation here before I dibble dabble. Yeah. So yeah, when they both were like, yeah, we're not interested in each other, I was like, no one for the most part was interested in their sneaky links. Like maybe Brennan and Nicole were the only exception to that rule. Yeah. They actually had like some feelings there. But everybody else was like, you can go explore my sneaky link. I don't care.
That's interesting. I really thought when I first started watching the show that the sneaky link part of it was going to be a little bit heavier. Yeah. You know, that people were going to be a little bit more torn in their feels. Yeah. It didn't really end up working out like that for them. Like, I feel like, you know, the concept that maybe that they were trying for didn't fully hit. Like, people weren't into their sneaky link. I feel like they would have done it with the exes. Oh. It would have been...
Well, I think, like we said before, I think it's such a hard... It's a hard concept to nail. It's like, if they would have brought... There's like 2 people that come to my head. If they would have brought any of these 2 guys, my whole experience would have been different because watching them get on with other girls would have been an impossible scenario. So I think it's like, it has to be the right recipe. Yeah. It's like if you bring on someone's true sneaky links, number one, like we said, they have to agree to the show. They have to be connected. What if they're in a relationship now? There's just so many variables that like, it's hard to make it really hit right unless it's exes. You know, because it's like, I don't know if they knew me and Kyle's true dynamic when they cast, you know, Kyle. They kind of were like, okay, well, this is a guy you know from your past. And I'm like, yeah, it didn't hit because me and Kyle have never seriously dated, you know, versus like, they brought a true guy I dated from my past, I'd be in the corner, like rocking back and forth. Like, I'm like, he wanted to hold a girl's hand? Yeah. I would have been Hudda. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sure. I'm sorry. What? Like,
I feel like they definitely had the right plot. It just didn't, you know, like what you're saying, a little bit more of a recent thing or a deeper connection would have made you guys crash out even more with the sneaky link part. Yeah. Yeah. You know, but I was also wondering because the producers, you know, we're watching you guys pick each other or not pick each other. We're watching you guys say certain things. Or for example, the finale where you guys are each coming into this room and it's either you guys walk in or you leave. Are they asking you pre-hand? And my assumption is obviously that they are because they need to figure out who to put in and who to not put in. But are they asking you guys before you make certain decisions, like what you're going to choose so that they can kind of move the pieces around accordingly? Or are they just letting you guys rock out?
What's interesting, the only time a producer asked me what decision I was going to make was the finale. Oh. She came in my room and she was like, headphones off, like, let's talk. This is the last day. You make your decision. Are you going to leave or are you going to stay? That was more the question. Okay. Are you going to leave or are you going to stay versus like, are you going to pick Travis?
Yeah, like they knew who you were going to pick. They're like, yeah.
They're like, I know. They're like, okay, are you going to leave or are you going to stay? And I was like, I'm going to stay. And it's funny because they have to keep a poker face because imagine I'm like, I'm going to stay. And she's like, you know, on some like, he said he wasn't. So I didn't know if she had already talked to him or not because she didn't react. She was like, okay, like good to know. And I was like, what does that mean? Yeah. What does that mean? Like, I should go? Blink
twice if I should stay.
She's like, you're going to stay? Yeah. Like, you know, but yeah, they kind of want to know just, I guess, to kind of, facilitate how they're going to do on the back end. But I will say that scene, the finale, they made me stand in the lobby by myself for like 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
So I fully thought he had like left.
No, I saw you in the finale like kind of getting emotional at some point. I thought it was like 10, 15. I'm like, I would go crazy 10, 15, 5 minutes.
40 minutes.
Just standing?
Standing. I was sliding out of my shoes. I was sweating. It was in the lobby. I was sweating. It was me, Spicy Marty, Chloe, the cameras. I'm literally like I have to keep like readjusting my feet because my feet are sliding out of my open toe shoes.
5 minutes. Why?
To create the intensity and the drama. And
girl, give me a chair.
Hello, give me a chair. Let me sit. If he's gonna not show up, just will me out. But yeah, Chloe, I remember her saying to me after maybe like 30 minutes, like, it's not looking too good. And I literally was like, oh, it's fine. I literally remember being like, don't cry.
Mind you, she's lying. Like, she literally knows.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't know?
The hosts don't know. They're just, like, waiting. So we're waiting, and they have headsets. We are just, like, waiting for a producer. And they're basically like, what's that? Okay, so you don't know if they're like, yeah, he's not coming. So every time they would do that, I'd be like, and then she was like, yeah, it's not looking too good. Because she's like, we're all just standing in silence. We're just all like, la, 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 hearing people's like headphones and hearing walkie-talkie. Yeah.
I would just start asking 21 questions. Like, okay, Spicy Wendy, what's your favorite food? Yeah, like something.
And then after like 40 minutes, I hear the door open and I hear these thick ass boots. And I was like, that's Travis and them cowboy boots. I know it is. I was like, I know it's Travis with the cowboy boots.
Oh my, you wouldn't have paid me to be able to tell you it was 40 something minutes standing.
He had to wait outside. They had him wait because I was like, what were they making you do? He was like, I was just waiting outside.
Why wouldn't they let him sit?
I don't know. They're just like, have them come in sweaty, uncomfortable. Yeah. And so he was like, when they finally were like, okay, go, you can make your decision. He like walked in the lobby, but he was like, I was just waiting. He's like, because I was like, what took you so fucking long? He was like, no, they had me wait, just like they had you wait. They wanted to create intensity. Yeah.
Do they have them? Did you ask them if they have them like do that scene where they're like looking at the hotel or like the exit?
Oh my God, they made us do that.
They did?
So when I was walking to the lobby,
I was wondering because I'm like, I don't think anybody's like, stay or go.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God. I think JC, her scene is like that.
Yeah.
Like she comes out and she's like,
yeah, I was like, there's no way.
They make you do that.
I figured.
They have a stopping point where they're like, all right, stop here. Now, like, look around. And I'm like, should I leave? Should I stay? Should I leave?
Actress.
I know. I'm like,
oh my, do they have you redo or do other stuff like that where they're kind of prompting you like, okay, we want you to like, or re-say that again, like, wait, we didn't catch that, like say it again or stuff like that where they're kind of imposing? Or
Confessionals are big on that. Confessionals, they'll have you repeat things.
Reconfess.
Because like sometimes you'll say something and they're like, what did you just say? Say it again.
Oh. Yeah. As in, like, they really didn't hear you, or they just want you to say it a little different, you think?
I think say it a little different. I think say it with conviction. I think you'll say something like, especially, like, the thing about confessionals, y'all, is that they always catch you when you're, like, in a little mood. So, like, you'll be outside filming all day. You're hot as hell. You just had a scene where the guy you like just chose another girl to go on a date with. And then they're like, okay, Zoey, to confessional. And you're like, yeah, you're, like, frustrated. So then you go in a confessional. And they basically, there's someone behind like a curtain and they're asking you questions and you answer the questions. Yeah. So that's how confessional works. And they're like, okay, so when Travis stuck his tongue in that girl's mouth, how did you feel? And
just like that?
And you're like hot and sweating. You're like, yeah, I don't really care. And they're like, oh, you don't care that he told you that he really likes you 2 days ago? Actually, he said verbatim, quote, and they'll quote with the, yeah. It's that, yeah.
Stop.
And they'll be like, on night 2, he said, quote, Zoey is my type and I really want a future with her. So how do you feel after watching him stick his tongue in Nicole S.'s mouth? And you'll be like, okay, well, obviously I don't fucking like when he sticks his tongue in another girl's mouth because he lied to me until they, of course, cut out what they said and they just clip what you said. And if they feel like they want you to repeat it and like have more to it, they'll be like, repeat what you just said.
Oh my God.
And you'll be like, I said, if Travis is going to choose another girl, yeah.
Oh my God. I always wondered how the confessionals work. Because I was like, okay, are they doing this at the end of the show where like they're just playing it back and kind of making you live react? But like,
so I always wondered that too. Here's the formula. They pull you, say there's a challenge. There's an egg challenge, right? Mm-hmm. They pull you before the egg challenge and they do your confessional. So you're like, today we're doing an egg challenge. I wonder what that's going to be like. And you go to the egg challenge and midway through the egg challenge, they pull you and they stick you back in confessional. And you're like, so far, I really like the fact that my team is in the lead, but I hope that we end up winning. And then they bring you back to the egg challenge.
You're joking. They're pausing things?
They press play. They're like, continue the egg challenge. Let's see who the winner is. Whoever wins, all right, somebody's won. They take you back for the last time to the confessional and you're always in the same outfit. So it makes it look like, oh, I don't know who's going to be, but you genuinely don't know. So then when you win, then you come out of the egg challenge and you say, oh, I'm so glad that we won the egg challenge. That's how it works.
Oh my God, because I was always like, are these people just kind of like so good at acting that they're, because it's like what you're saying, like sometimes they'll be like, I don't know who he's gonna pick, or, and then it's like they are in the same outfit. And
so
I'm
like, obviously you know,
girl, like I know you know. So I'm like, damn, they're acting pretty good because like I couldn't tell. That's how they just
so
like
Love
pause.
Island. I'm pretty sure I can bet money on this, that when they're doing recouplings or whatever, when they're making their decisions, they're pausing it right before they say who they're choosing. They're pulling them for confessionals.
You really think?
Yes. And they're putting them back in. They're putting them exactly in the same spots that they were in before. And they go ahead and make their decision. And then immediately after, they pull them back into confessionals. Yeah.
I should have asked Daniela that, because that is really interesting. Like, I never thought about like when they do the confessionals for that. That is crazy. I do know that like for, I think, Love Island, it is that they do like ask the contestants like who they're gonna pick, because they want to do it in a certain sequence. Like,
that's smart. Yeah.
So that's why I assumed that with your show that they were gonna be like asking you which they did for the finale, but I was wondering if at least for like the sit down table stuff, and like they were gonna be asking like, what are you gonna say, just for like preparing cameras or just like the sequence or whatever.
Yeah.
But the confessional thing is really interesting. Like the fact that you have to stop mid challenge, go to a confessional. So how long is this like a challenge taking if you have to do
all day? So this is how our schedule would work. We would wake up, similar to Love Island, we'd wake up, we'd have our breakfast delivered to our room, so we eat our food.
Which is what? Let me ask you, what are they feeding you guys?
Well, for us, we had it pretty good. We basically every day would have a menu, and but it was like, it's kind of sad. You eat every meal in your room, like a sad little person. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of weird. But you get a menu every single day, and they bring breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, and they just bring it to your room.
Wow.
So we wake up, breakfast would be at our door. So you don't wake up until the lights come on, by the way, which I'm sure Love Island does the same.
Yeah.
So you wake up when production wakes up. You wake up, eat your breakfast, go downstairs, put on your mic, take your medication, whatever medication you take. If you take medication, you are in your bathing suit, and you go out to the pool. You have the whole morning and afternoon at the pool.
Yeah.
And then production comes out, and they're like, all right, everybody to your rooms, get dressed for the first challenge. It's a blah, blah, blah challenge. It's a bike challenge. It's an egg challenge. Like they'll say, wear something sporty or wear something date ready. And so you go upstairs, you change. Those challenges would take 4 to 6 hours. They would take so long. And then that would be pretty much your day. And then you go upstairs, get changed, showered, and they call you down for link lowdown. And then it would be like our giant like table, and we're all doing whatever, like confessing at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And any days where they didn't do league lowdowns, they would do, which got cut out, which was when people ask me my favorite part of the motel, this is my favorite part that they barely showed. They showed the whipped cream scene, but any group activities that we would do where basically we would all sit around and we'd have cards that Chloe and Spicy Mario would leave for us, and they'd be like little fun games. Like one of them was like sexy charades, and like one of them was like, how well do you know your sneaky link? Like truth or dare, like all these fun cards. And like those would be the best moments because we don't all get to hang out like typically, besides the morning pool scenes, we don't get to typically hang out as a group. So those would be the most fun bonding experiences for us.
They
so
cut
fun.
Out everything that was juicy.
Everything. And y'all, one day, I keep talking about this because it was fun. Yeah. But we did it was after the luau party. We had a little tiki party. And afterwards, we all gathered as a group. And we did a fake little America's Next Top Model scene where I was Tyra. I pretended to be Tyra. And I had like, I used the pillow and I would be like, Avery, Nicole S., Manny. Like, and the person, I would just like have a whole fake little monologue. And everybody came up to me. They're like, did you just like, you completely came off the dome with that? And I'm like, yeah, I just like watched America's Next Top Model. I'd be like, all right, I have 2 individuals like that stand before me, and the name that I do not call must immediately go back to the hotel and check out. You are
literally actually like impersonating her so good right now. I feel like I'm watching the show.
But it was funny because we were so serious. Like I think I had like 2 people on the side of me, and I was like, before we begin, we're gonna introduce our lovely judges and introduce our fantastic prizes. The first to my left is Nigel Barker, noted fashion photographer, and people were like, what? And
especially the girls, I'm guessing. Because the guys are like, huh? And the girls are like, wow, can I get an autograph?
And you know how this even started? Colt gave me the nickname Tyra Banks. Colt was like, Zoey looks like Tyra Banks. I was like, never got that before, but
I see it. Like, literally started impersonating her. I'm like, wait a damn minute. Were you
on Life Size? Yeah, so that was one of the best scenes, and they didn't even add it.
Yeah.
It was so good that, like, when a scene is like not really good, but when a scene is being captured, it's captured by the cameraman. And instead of just the hidden cameras, like for the most of the pool scenes were just captured by the hidden cameras. we did that scene and they brought over the cameraman because they were like, the producers were like, wait, go get that. Go film that. Yeah. And they didn't even include it. Maybe it would be like a issue with like America's Next Top Model. Like maybe Tyra would have had an issue, but I don't know. I feel like Tyra would have liked it.
I also would have liked for them to do like a reunion. Like I feel like most love shows have some sort of like reunion a year later.
Where are they? Yeah.
Yeah, like what's happening, what's going on, who's still together.
Yeah. They haven't said anything, so we just don't know. But I feel like we would know by now. I don't know.
Well, I feel like you need to give us the reunion then. Who's still together? Who made it out for real? Who stayed together? Who went their own separate ways after? Because we saw a lot of couples at the end. I was surprised. I actually thought it was going to be less. Yeah, and really. I actually didn't expect Brandon to stay through.
Yeah,
I was also surprised by Colt. I genuinely thought Colt was going to leave, especially after his mom didn't really approve of Kelsey's outfit.
Right, Mamacita. I was like, Mamacita. Mamacita did not approve. So Colt and Kelsey ended immediately after the show. Like, I mean, Colt didn't even make it to the plane before he cut things off. He didn't even cut things off. Let me not give him that respect. He didn't even do that. He just basically like completely pulled back from her right after the show, even though he said I love you, which is crazy town USA.
Wait a damn minute.
Yeah. Immediately.
He literally said I love you. Said I'm like following me. Like I don't know how to. Do you think he was in there like clout chasing? Is that the verdict?
For sure. I think he later admitted that. Like, yeah, he was fully performing. Yeah.
But to say I love you is like
it's crazy.
We could have left that part out. We could have not said I love you.
We should have not said I love you.
Hello?
I spoke to Kelsey after the show and she basically was like, yeah, I haven't heard from Colt at all. Like all of us basically got a chance after filming to hang out like with our person from our couple because we were the only ones left. And Colt was like the only one that didn't take the opportunity. He like immediately ghosted Kelsey after the show. Immediately.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's that. Brandon is now in a new relationship. And y'all, not too much on my boy. I actually love Brandon. He's evolved a lot, y'all.
They did. Okay, but like what you did tell me downstairs, which was that production was egging you guys on to be more spicy, to take things further, to be a little bit more sexual. And when the way that they aired it, which looked like Brandon was this crazy player, which I mean, Brandon did have his go around. He did have his go around. But I mean, if they were kind of encouraging that behavior, it's different because they kind of were making it seem like they were not encouraging that behavior. Like Spicy Money was like, you need to buckle down and choose a girl and stay right there.
Stay with her.
And so then if they're telling him go crazy, go nuts, like have your fun time. And he's doing, like, now I feel like I have a little bit less of, like, a, dang, you're crazy.
Yeah.
He's so crazy. But I'm like...
He definitely showed his ass on the show. I'll give him that. But...
So he's found a new lover.
Met the girlfriend. She's so sweet. Like, he's lover boy now. Aww. He treats her like a princess. And I love them together. Like, hung out with them in Austin. And, yeah, like, I think they live together now. Like, he's on his Romeo now. Who else is in a relationship? I think JC, my girl JC, is in a relationship.
Oh.
Yeah, she's out here in Florida. So gonna see her today, I hope.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah, she's in a relationship. So it's funny because like they both left and got into relationships. Manny and Avery ended the show together and they were together for a year. I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna move on.
That's still pretty good to have met on like a dating show, like especially like you guys as well. Like that is kind of like
lasted a year.
Like it's a long time.
Yeah,
after doing something so extreme. Like
and what an amazing origin story! Like,
it is
come on,
literally iconic.
That's pretty iconic.
You guys end up getting married, which I hope that you guys make it through.
You hear that? You hear that, Travis?
Make sure you propose to her and do it on the podcast. Okay. But that's a crazy, like, how many origin stories? I mean, obviously now there's like Love is Blind and stuff like that, which they get married instantly. So I feel like that's insane. That's insane. That's a little different because that doesn't give you the option to stay through for real. It's kind of like in that moment.
Like sign this paper.
But you guys, if you guys end up, making a lifelong partnership, then it'll be like, how did you guys meet? We met on Netflix.
Let's watch roll the clip.
Actually, let me show you right now. Now that you're grown enough, let me show you.
I'm trying to think who else. Nicole V. I'm not sure her relationship status. I want to say she's single, but who knows? Nicole S. is in a relationship. She got into a relationship right after the show. My girl Angelique is dating. There were definitely rumors about her and Logan.
Ooh.
I'll let her address those. She's saying they're not together, but you know, they've been hanging out. Okay. Kyle was dealing with someone. I don't know if he's still dealing with that same person or not. Okay. So he could be single. He could not be single. Who else is left? I think Justin might be single. I think Lulu's single. I'm going through the lineup in my head.
Well, at least we know like the main couples, because I feel like obviously we don't watch them leave, and it's like, did they stay together? Especially Colt saying "I love you." I thought, you know,
I saw that coming. I'm so sorry. I called his bluff. Oh, this is what I was saying that didn't air when we were saying the crash out on Colt. That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Back to the crash out on Colt. There was a moment where he stood up, and I feel like he was talking a lot about loyalty as far as Angelique, because he chose Angelique, and he was like, yeah, like, I'm going to choose Angelique. I just feel like she was really loyal to me, blah, blah, blah. And then he kept calling Kelsey a test. He was like, she came in as a test, but I passed the test. Like, I don't know. He was being kind of like cocky about just playing two women. And I'm like, I'm for the girls. I'm like, I'm not feeling that. I feel like his chest is puffed up and he's just being super egotistical. So we got outside to the pool, and it was me and Travis and Angelique and Colt. And Angelique was just like, aren't we all just so happy? And I was like, no, I feel like I'm a little annoyed at Colt. I feel like the way you've gone about this has been like player. You haven't been respectful. The way you talk about my girl Angelique, I don't like it. I feel like you're playing in her face. Like, I'm just going in on him. Angelique is like, Zoey, calm it down. And Travis is like, oh Lord. And Colt literally is like, doesn't say a word. And so I'm just telling him how I feel, and I'm firing off because I feel like I'm like, no one's saying it. I'm like, I feel like you're getting away with being like playing people in here. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that you called Kelsey a test. Like, she's a human being. She's a girl. She came in, and you didn't have boundaries enough to say, I'm in like, not a relationship, but like, I'm pursuing someone. And the fact that you're just basically like lying to get your way. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how he was moving. So I called him out on it. And I just feel like I wish they would have shown that, just to show someone did address what was going on, because I feel like it was like, we joked that it was the cotel, because it was like, instead of the motel hotel, it was the cotel, because I was like, the way you're moving in here is crazy. And then of course a few weeks later, here comes Lulu, and he gets another chance to get to know another girl and play her, and I just was like, bro, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I was surprised he didn't actually end up doing that, because I would have bet all my money that
he would have done that, right? Even for him to accept the date, it's like, because I think Logan was going to have a chance to go on a date with Lulu, but Colt accepted the date. So it's like, I literally was like, and then you have Manny who sang no to a date, and Travis saying no to a date, but here comes Colt, can't say no.
Like, sure.
He's like, fuck it. Like, let's get 4 more. You know that there's this audio with Drewski where it's like, we got to 40, shit, let's get to 50.
Yeah. Let's do a speed round.
Okay.
The one moment you wish they would have definitely shown that they didn't.
The girls' trip. It's actually the boys' trip, but the scene I told you about with the iPads, I wish they would have shown that. Like, I really was looking forward to like the spice level 10 that was gonna really bring to the show, and I feel like that brought the show down a lot as far as like drama.
Okay, worst day in the motel.
The first night. The very first night. I cried. The first night, I was ready to leave. I had my bags packed. Actually, I didn't even unpack them. I was like, nope, I'm leaving. And the producers were like, calm. They had to like talk me out of leaving. Yeah.
Oh my God. Biggest cloud chaser of the season.
Colt.
Ooh.
And the second, Colt.
Oh. Okay. Worst part about watching back the show?
Seeing Travis make out with Nicole. I don't want to see that. They should have blurred his face.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all for the fun questions. I had such a good time having you on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I was glad getting to know like what really happened behind the scenes, because I feel like everybody wants to know like what's the real tea?
What's the real tea?
What's really happening behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Glad to know like how your journey went in there, because it's a really rare thing to, go into a show, actually find love, and come out and like still be with that person. So I was happy to hear about you and Travis's journey.
Thank you. Especially coming in as like the underdog. Like what I like about my story is like a lot of times with Black girls on these dating shows, they get done dirt. Yeah. Like you're so embarrassed for her. You're like, girl, get off the TV. Like, this is just so embarrassing. And so it's nice to have a story where it's like, okay, maybe it didn't start off very well for me, but it ended really well for me. So
we might say it ended the best. Clearly.
It ended the best.
Yeah.
It ended, you know.
And not only is she a TV star, but she's also a business owner.
Oh, yes.
And thank you so much again for my present. Also, hearing about your journey with your clothing brand is so inspiring. I'm sure there's so many people out there who, even if they're not into clothing or whatever, it's inspiring to hear how you could just start something and take it all the way basically to the top like you've done. So
thank you. Thank
really
you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much
for coming on.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm in Barbie land. Like, I couldn't not come into the Pink podcast. Like,
well,
I had to come.
This is so much fun. Well, thank you girls for watching. Go watch the show if you haven't already, because
Sneaky Links.
That was fun to watch. Zoey's definitely my favorite. If you have a different favorite, you're wrong and you're crazy. And my favorites were my favorites for a reason. Clearly, they were the only ones to really make it out. So, anyways.
I love your thought process.
Yeah.
All right, love you guys.
I was right. Love you girls. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next Wednesday. Also, wait, go follow Zoey on all her social medias. They're going to be right there on the screen and in the description if you haven't already, and go buy something from her clothing brand right now. Okay, I'm going to switch into my shirt right now.
Yeah, we gotta do our TikToks on our shirts.
Yeah, no, we're about to literally right now. All right, bye girls.